Hey everybody, it's Mr. Grippa coming to you from room 227, West Claremont High School. We are going to do a bone review video 2.0 where we're going to zoom in a little tighter and hopefully have some more useful videos than the first version with my old cheap camera. So the first video we're going to do is going to be over section 1 on the bones you're responsible for your practical, which would be the pectoral girdle, and those are going to be about the clavicle and the scapula. So let's go ahead and zoom in and get started. All right, so let's begin with the clavicle, commonly referred to as the collarbone. First of all, this is a left clavicle, and we'll talk a little bit about how we know this is a left clavicle, but the only thing that you're required to know on the clavicle is, number one, this end is the sternal end because it will articulate with the manubrium, or the top part of the sternum on the chest, and that's kind of what I refer to as the flattened vertically. It's kind of flattened this way, and this end that's flattened horizontally, and I kind of refer to this as the butter knife end. This is the acromial end to the clavicle, and it is named that because it is going to articulate with the acromion process on the scapula, okay? And then underneath this bump right there, that process right there is called the conoid tubercle. All right, and so the way we know this is left is this is going to be up on the chest, on the sternum, and the conoid tubercle is on the inferior or the underneath side. So we have to have that point down, and this goes to the sternum, and typically your sternum is going to be just a little further forward than your shoulder socket. So the bone is going to curve back this way to the left, where it will form the shoulder socket right here. So sternal end, this is a left, so it's on the body. If you were looking at it from behind, this would be on their body this way, spine right here, and this is going to be the shoulder. So this is a left. This is the left clavicle, and if we turn it upside down, then we know that this is wrong because here the conoid tubercle is facing up, and that's not correct. So this way, bent backwards this way, and that ends the sternum. So that is going to be a left clavicle. Let's move on to the scapula. This is also a left scapula or shoulder blade. And we know this is left because two main reasons. Number one, this is the glenoid fossa, and this is where the head of the humerus is going to fit in to make the shoulder. So that has to be to the outside, to the lateral. This surface lies against the ribs. So if we're going to lay that against the ribs and have this be the shoulder, this has to be the left scapula. If we turn it this way to make it the right, now we have this large process, and it's going to curve away from the ribs. That just doesn't work. So lie flat against the ribs. This surface is called the subscapular fossa. It lies on the ribs. So it's here, and this is going to be the left. All right, the key features that you have to know for the scapula are going to be, we'll go over them again. This flat depression is known as the glenoid cavity or the glenoid fossa. This large process on the end of this big ridge is called the scapular spine, and this hooked process on the end is the acromion process, and it is going to articulate with the acromial end of the clavicle like that. All right. This hook process here is the coracoid process, and again, acromion process on the scapular spine, coracoid process, glenoid cavity or glenoid fossa. This groove is the scapular notch. Okay. Since this is the scapular spine, and we're going to talk about two other depressions or fossas, We have the supraspinous fossa, supra meaning superior or above. So this ridge, this depression is the supraspinous fossa. This depression underneath is the infraspinous for inferior, infraspinous fossa down here. You can see this ridge kind of dips in. So this is infraspinous fossa, supraspinous fossa, scapular spine, okay? Then our borders, this is going to be the closest to the vertebrae. So this is going to be the vertebral or the medullary, meaning medial, closest to the midline of the body, medial or medullary border or vertebral border. This is to the outside because the shoulder's here. So this is the lateral or the axillary border. Okay, that should about do it for that first section, the pectoral girdle. If you have any questions, you can come see me here at room 227, or you can shoot me an email. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.